Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. I want to thank everyone for watching my video yesterday because I knew that I was so off. I was so off. I said that Gladys, um, figured out pretty much that Brooklyn wasn't the mother. And I was so wrong. And I want to thank everyone in the comment section, um, who corrected me and who supported me and everything like that. And just everyone who just watched in general because yesterday was not it wasn't a good day. Um, so I want to thank everyone for watching yesterday. So going into this episode, we're gonna start off with the best part, and that is, of course, the Jason, Britt, Ulbrich, and Peter. I'm pretty sure I'm probably missing someone, but I'll get to them in a minute. So, Jason has a gun pointed to Peter's head, of course. But, he can't sit there and take him out because he still needs him to, try to find Liesel and, I don't know, Liesel. I mean, I'm sure that, if he got a chance to save Jason, Drew, he would save him. But he's there for Liesel, and so he still needs Peter alive. Meanwhile, you got Meanwhile, you got Britt trying to do her best to sit there and make sure that Ulbrich doesn't bleed out. After the whole harpoon incident. So, Britt is trying to avoid Ulbrich. Britt is sitting there trying to avoid Liesel talking about her love life or lack thereof, as she keeps sitting there mentioning it. So they're talking for a little bit, and then somebody comes to the door. Now, at first, I'm sitting there thinking, all right, cool, it's Jason. He got Peter and everything like that. But then I'm like, no. Because why would Jason actually come to the front door? Because at one point you just saw just the boots or whatever. What the hell? You just saw the boots. Turns out when Jason does get back to Britt with Peter, Drew is there, and he has a gun on Ulbrich and Britt. So at this point, it's a good old showdown. Jason stands there. It's like, how do I sit there and put it? It's like he's looking at all the different ways that can go right or it can go wrong. Meanwhile, you got Britt that's like, yo, listen, I don't care. Take the shot in Peter's life, like, to save my mother. You got Ulbrich that's in there like, yeah, shoot him. It doesn't matter. And, Jason's like, yo, I'm pretty sure he's like, yo, can I just get 5 minutes to just try to concentrate on how to handle the situation? And of course he realizes that there's no way, somebody's gonna get killed. And he realizes a no-win situation. So he drops his gun. And, at this point, now Peter has everyone hostage. Which, honestly, to tell you the truth, at this point, I knew most likely that was gonna happen. So, given how Peter is, given the fact that he always have a backup plan. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I was not thinking about this even when I was at work. I was like, nah, Peter's not going to fold. He's the man that always has a backup plan for a backup plan. So, yeah. Now, one thing that I really did like when Ulbrich was sitting there talking to Liesel, when Britt was sitting there talking to Liesel, was, Liesel was sitting there talking about, oh, Jason really came back. He's coming to sit there and help me. You guys seem like you have a chance now. Despite whatever, he clearly has feelings for you. And of course, Britt reminds Liesel that, yo, listen, it doesn't matter. Because Carly is always going to be a problem. And she's not going to be second best. She's not always going to sit there and, have Carly come before her. Like, well, pretty much every other woman that Jason has dealt with. Which, I'm just not even gonna go there. But Bruce like, yo, I'm not gonna be that chick. I'm not doing it. I'm like, now if they do get together, hopefully she could be the person that stands her ground and doesn't allow, you know, Carly to push her over and let her be second, second best. And, you know, don't let it be another situation where Carly always comes first, because that's ridiculous. And again, that's the one thing that I did like when, Drew was Jason, is that he put Sam and his family first. He put them first before Carly. Especially, he put, them before Sonny. Jason, on the other hand, well, yeah. Now let's get to Sean and Nicholas for a minute, because, the way that Nicholas laid it out, it seemed like it was just kind of pointless for Sean to continue with his, get justice for Hayden. Because, he realized, and this is something that I didn't know, is that Hayden already knew that Nicholas tried to kill her. And she still continued to work with him. So at this point, between that, the flimsy evidence, it's like, Nicholas was like, yo, listen, let me just give you some money. I can't give back your time. I can give you some money. This deal is at a limited time. And granted, Sean, you can tell he's a very principled man. He's not going to sit there and just, you know, he's not going to sit there and sell his soul, just sit there and give a little bit, get a little money. He's not going to do that. But what Nicholas didn't sit there and say was that, yo, listen, this isn't just about you. This is about Alexis. If you continue to come at me, then I'm not going to be able to sit there and help Alexis, go free. And that's something that Sean needs to sit there and consider, because, again, he doesn't really have any evidence. He's not going to have any evidence. And Hayden moved on from the whole shooting thing. Now, yeah, it does suck that he spent 5 years or 6 years in jail for a crime he didn't commit. But like Nicholas said, he could have easily, Sean could have easily been the one that shot Hayden. And so it's not like his hands isn't clean. And he did go to jail to atone for, part of the reason why he decided to stay in jail wasn't just because of Sonny or whatever. It was because he wanted to atone for what he did. So at this point, yeah, it's kind of over. It is. So Harmony and Alexis talk, and the one good thing that came out of that whole conversation is that, you kind of realize why Alexis is choosing to stay. And not just because, and granted, she did sit there and say at the end, she was like, yo, listen, I'm not selling my soul. Like, I'm not going to sit there and let Nicholas bribe me just to get out of Pentonville. But what Harmony said was that the reason why she decided, why she doesn't want to sit there and take her offer, and she doesn't really want to sit there and try to go free, or is afraid of going back to the outside world, is because she's afraid. She feels safer there, because outside, she has to sit there and worry about her sobriety. She has to sit there and worry about no job and pressures and all the stuff that led her up into jail. She's going to have to sit there and deal with that. When she's in jail, she doesn't have to sit there and make decisions for herself. She has a routine. When she goes out of jail, that's when things are kind of up in the air. And especially with her sobriety of going to every different type of restaurant, or just the simple fact that she could just order the drinks and have it delivered to her. Amazing. I'm just not there thinking about just like how far we come. Now I could just sit there and just Uber me some wine. Just not there thinking about that, like that's actually a good idea. But yeah, so that's the reason why, she's afraid of, going back to the outside world. Now, as far as her character, yes. As far as the actress, that's a little more tricky. I mean, I don't really want to sit there and dive into the drama, but we all know that she's having issues with not just Jax, or not just the actor that plays Jax, but just with the studio in general, with the actors, the actress, and all that stuff, and how she doesn't feel safe. Let's just put it that way. Um, I don't know. But at some point, I don't know, from a not her character, but her as an actress. At some point, they're gonna actually have to let her out of jail so this way she could start doing more scenes with other people because, just for the Alexis fans and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, I mean, we rocking with you because you're in jail, but like, I mean, at some point, it's sort of like Sunny a little bit, it was like, all right, we could rock with you being this other character for a little bit, kind of change things up, but after a while, it's like, all right, we kind of need you to, be Sunny. It's like, we need you to sit there and be Alexis. We need you to sit there and interact with these other characters. So I don't know what the actress is gonna do, but I mean, at this point, they're not. I don't imagine them replacing her if she is still feeling the same way about her not wanting to do scenes with other people. Because let's be honest, you're gonna have to do a lot of scenes with Jax, and yeah. So Spencer comes to see Trina, and Trina's like, "Yo, listen, I'm not about that. You have a girlfriend to sit there, like, you want a shoulder to cry on or whatever. Like, you have a girl for that." And pretty much what Spencer wants is he wants a friend. He wants somebody to sit there and be real with him. But Trina is like, I'm not. We're not there. Because again, she still feels hurt for being used, lied to, manipulated, and all that other stuff. So pretty much she's like, yo, listen, if you want to sit there and do better and be a better person, then your actions gotta speak louder than your words. Like go back to your job that you hate, Um, stop asking for other people's approval. Like just do you. And maybe stop hanging around with toxic people. Just to start. Um, Now you got Asmir, so that they're trying to be all buddy buddy with Jocelyn and Cam, and Cam is already livid with the fact that Spencer left, and now he has to sit there and cover and do all this other stuff like that. So he's not happy. Um, Asmir has an idea as far as like going to a cabin and just kind of getting away. Because first she starts making a bunch of excuses for Spencer, and I'm just like, you are making this so much worse. Oh well, he never actually had to have a job and work, and he's a spoiled person, a spoiled brat. And it was like, you're not helping this case. That doesn't make me want to hire this guy back after he just dipped on me. Really, that's okay. All right. When Cam leaves, Esmir tries to fake being friends again. And Jocelyn, at this point, she's just had enough. She's like, yo, listen, we not friends. Keeps that they're trying to act like we buddy buddy. We ain't cool. Especially after Esmir's all like, oh, well, I get you two didn't have sex and stuff like that. I'm like, is that supposed to win her over? I don't. But Esme was like, all right, listen, I try to be friends or whatever. This isn't gonna work out. So she, gets all angry and then she leaves. Spencer comes back. He apologizes to Cam. Now Cam at this point is like, yo, listen, I'm not like, given who you are, given the lack of experience that you have, and the fact that I pretty much stuck my neck out for you, and this is how you're gonna do me. So he was like, yo, you're fired. And I wrote, you're fired. I wrote Cam fired Spencer. And about less than 2 minutes, all right, all right, Spencer, you're hired again. And I just looked at my notes, put a big ass X there, like, okay, sure. Now, listen, I guess I'm gonna sit there and play a little bit of devil's advocate. Esmir was kind of right in the fact that, like, yo, listen, he's never had a job before. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not giving him a free pass. I'm just not there saying he's never had a job before. He's never had responsibilities. And by meaning a job, meaning like, yo, listen, he has to sit there and depend on this job for money. He doesn't have to sit there and think about that. So him leaving and then him coming back and you're like, oh, well, I had a family emergency. I mean, it wasn't an emergency, but it's like, this guy's rich, you know? And so, I don't want to seem like I'm making excuses for him, but I mean, the building blocks are there. But at the end of the day, I was like, bro, listen, it's not like you're not going to be okay. Eventually your dad is probably going to forgive you. The first fight that you have when you're in jail, he's going to bail you out. So at the same time, I'm like, bro, nah, you fired. You kick rocks. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't know what it is. But with that being said, I'm gonna go. If I missed anything, please write it down in the comment section below. This day was so much better than yesterday. Even though that I only had an hour worth of sleep. Man, that's... Anyway, thank you for watching. Be safe. See you in the next video.